as that growth and development continues, that can potentially put pressure on our water resources, depending on how that growth happens. So if, all forest and pasture just becomes huge subdivisions and, highways, that's going to change things pretty quickly. But if we can grow and develop in a way that uses green infrastructure, low impact development types of practices, then that can kind of help us sustain that growth and keep good quality water. So I think we're in a good spot, but I don't think that we should write it off because of that.
Is your organization involved in urban planning issues and politics, like at the county level or through big cities?
We're not directly involved with the urban planning or the politics, but we do, have these programs where we try to help provide information and education to people that are in those positions. Certainly about low impact development, the importance of open space and prioritizing open space, those types of things.
What about volume of water? A lot of areas around the country are suffering from lack of water. Do you see any decline?
Yeah. Especially right now, we have so much water in Beaver Lake after all the storms we had this spring. They haven't been able to let out a lot of the water because it could cause flooding downstream. We're as far as quantity of water, we're not correct. It's more about quality, just keeping it clean. Because we can have as much as we want, but if it's dirty, it doesn't really do us anything.
But basically these days, the runoff of silt from Fayetteville, from construction sites primarily, are the biggest source of pollution in Beaver Lake. And you can't go at the city about allowing all that, because the answer is, well, all these people want to sell their land. Somebody else speculates and wants to build on it. And it's tax money that's coming in. So, but individual person can speak up about that, and that's important that we do that, because there are many places in town right now. There's a spring. It was broken into on. Let's see, it's just before you get to the old boys club downtown, close to the high school. They cleared out a whole block recently, and there's a big pipe that runs out of that spring, obviously, that's uphill underground there, and it's been draining enough to support quite a few households directly into the lowest corner of that lot, which is where it should go. But it's so much water's being wasted there, and when it leaves that property, as it's done right now, it's carrying silt from that site, red dirt silt, and it goes to a pond that's 2 blocks away, and that pond has been staying brown now for months since they started that construction. And it goes on down to Beaver Lake through Tanglewood Branch, which is near the library, the public library. It's just downhill from there. So, yeah, low impact development methods are a key thing. Protect the soil where it is.
It's really important. And erosion control, getting that soil to stay there. A lot of kids are like, but we have dirt everywhere. How is dirt a source of pollution to Beaver Lake? I'm like, well, if it stays there, that's great. Basically, it's about a lot of that sediment and soil ends up in a place where it's not supposed to be. It's fine on the ground and we need it there. and it does great things for growing grass and trees and whatnot. But once that ends up in the water and it's not supposed to be there, then it becomes a pollutant, and that's when it becomes an issue. And so, construction, site management is one of the 5 top best management practices that are in our watershed protection strategy. Something that we haven't quite tapped into yet, but this calls for developing like a contractor kind of certification program for construction site best management practices. And that's certainly something that we want to promote. The low impact development of being able to capture the water before it leaves off-site and kind of let it filter back into the ground some way. It's pretty important.
This is just a fascinating topic and a really informative presentation. Courtney, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. And like I said, if y'all don't receive our newsletter but you would like to, you can sign up here with your email address. And I brought pins and magnets and little brochures and newsletters for everybody.
I'm a magnet.
How often do you do something like this?
It's pretty sporadic, and it kind of depends on the availability of my coworkers and stuff. So I don't speak to a whole lot of civic groups necessarily on a regular basis, but yeah, it's fun.
You did a good job. I feel like you're very good at communicating complicated things. I don't know.
It's a lot of information. Yeah.
How much of your organization's time is spent on assessment versus like actually implementing change processes versus like tracking?
It's good to be back in Arkansas, I tell you.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think